What is going on, everybody? Sports expert here, and we have an interesting NBA story to talk about here. A video that I've been thinking about all day about doing, and I'm going to do it right here. So, the Portland Trailblazers are involved here, and it's about Kevin Durant and Damian Lillard on the Portland Trailblazers together. As Damian Lillard posted this cryptic story on his Instagram with him and Kevin Durant in Portland jerseys amid the trade rumors of Kevin Durant leaving Brooklyn after the reports of Kyrie Irving potentially wanting out. So, before we get to the video, for more NBA content, we're going to be uploading tons of NBA content over the next few days due to free agency and whatever. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Turn on the post notification bell so you don't miss any videos. We're going to have a ton of content here. Hit the like button. That helps our video a lot. Comment what you think as well. Would really appreciate that. So let's get started. So Kevin Durant and Damian Lillard on the Portland Trailblazers obviously would be something. I mean, Damian Lillard, obviously, he says he wants to stay in Portland, but obviously he's fooling nobody. He's obviously unhappy there. They did acquire Jeremy Grant. I guess that's a solid acquisition, but Kevin Durant to the Portland Trailblazers, how possible is it? I wonder how. So we'll have to check and see. As Jeremy Grant obviously was acquired by the Portland Trailblazers. That was the first move they made. They traded a 2025 first-round pick to get him, so the Trailblazers were able to do that. They will have some leftover cap space involved this offseason, so they'll be looking to make more moves. But is Jeremy Grant able to stay on the Portland Trailblazers, although Kevin Durant could be traded there with a Kevin Durant trade? I don't know. I don't know if it's possible, but we'll have to check and see in this video. But the Portland Trailblazers, they also drafted Shaedon Sharpe, so they added him and Jeremy Grant so far this offseason. So the Brooklyn Nets, wonder what they're going to be looking for in a package for Kevin Durant, but Jeremy Grant could be a front runner there to go. As Kevin Durant ends up in Portland, 4 years left on his deal, and he potentially wants a trade. The value for Durant will be ridiculous. I just don't know how much teams will pay for him and how Portland could potentially get a deal done, but I have a deal right here as Kevin Durant, 4 years, $44.1 million per year over the next 4 years. So Portland will have to pay that contract, no problem. I mean, Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. Anything is worth it for him. So you'll have him and Dame Lillard as a dynamic duo in the Western Conference, which would be something. And the Brooklyn Nets would receive Jeremy Grant. I think you have to throw in Jeremy Grant at this point. I mean, there's probably a ton of value with Grant in a potential trade for Durant. Obviously, that's who they're going to be looking for. They're not going to be looking for Damian Lillard. That's not going to happen. Justice Winslow, who has been involved in trade talks for many years now, he would go over to Brooklyn for some solid depth. Josh Hart, who's made a solid impact for a team like Portland and around the NBA, definitely would be in a trade here, no doubt. Greg Brown III, nice young player out of Texas, former five-star recruit, would go to Portland in a trade here. And a few draft picks would be traded. A 2028 first-round pick, a 2026 first-round pick, a 2026 second-round pick, a 2024 second-round pick via Atlanta, and a 2024 first-round pick. I think you're going to have to throw in a couple more seconds maybe to get this deal done. I mean, the draft capital is going to have to be unbelievable. But this is a trade hypothetical I just threw out there. Unless they do want to sign a Yusuf Nurkic and then trade him off, maybe the Nets look at that and are interested. So, but if this trade does go down, they will have whoever they get in a Kyrie Irving trade. Then they'll have Jeremy Grant and Ben Simmons together, which wouldn't be too bad. I mean, Jeremy Grant can score the ball, which helps. If he didn't, it would obviously be a concern. But you have two solid defensive players in Jeremy Grant and Ben Simmons, which would help immensely for this basketball club. You add some much-needed depth in Justice Winslow and Josh Hart. So the Nets get some guys there. They get a nice young player in Greg Brown and obviously get some draft picks that they really need, as, the James Harden trade, which was a massive failure. They gave up all those draft picks. So I think this is a trade that they may have to consider if he were sent to Portland. They probably wouldn't send him to Portland if they got a better offer, just because this is definitely one of the more weaker offers they could potentially receive in a Kevin Durant trade, because there's going to be a ton of interest around. And will Kevin Durant have his own say where he wants to go? Not sure. But at the same time, you have to think about, where does Brooklyn want to send him? I mean, the package. KD may have a say, but at the same time, Brooklyn's going to have to have a say in what they want to do because obviously he's still under contract there. So Kevin Durant, joining the Blazers, they somehow find a way to re-sign Yusuf Nurkic. That could be a nice, solid big three. Nurkic, I believe, is one of the more underrated centers in the game. I think he's a solid scorer, solid defender. A team this could be a contender in the West, a championship contender. I wonder what the depth will look like, but, you also have Anthony Simons in there. So a lineup of Damian Lillard, Anthony Simons, Kevin Durant, maybe Nazir Little, and a guy like Yusuf Nurkic would be perfect for the Blazers. Something their fan base would be high on, definitely would be looking for. So, Damian Lillard and Yusuf Nurkic itself, and Jeremy Grant, that could be a playoff team, but if you want to be a championship team, add Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant on the Portland Trail Blazers would be unbelievable. There's a lot of rumors about it now, a lot of cryptic posts. So, hey, if this happens, it would be one of the more breaking storylines we've ever seen in the NBA. So, Kevin Durant to the Portland Trail Blazers would definitely be something. So, sports expert here. I appreciate everyone tuning into this video. Please hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. Turn on the post notification bell. Like the video. Comment what you think. Kevin Durant to the Portland Trail Blazers. Is it possible? Yes, it is. Is it likely? I don't know if I'd say it's likely, but at the same time, definitely possible. I'm out, guys. Sports expert here. Peace.